I'm going to be showing you how to implement ALS into Survival Game Kit. This is a project that I already finished yesterday, but I had some problems with the audio, so I'm going to be retaking it again today, showing basically what your outcome will be by the end of the project. And I'm going to be doing a few more videos after this to fix up a few things and do some changes. Maybe somebody wants something. I don't know. Yeah, everything works. And this is what I left. And I'm going to load up into my other project now and we'll begin. Okay, I have my project loaded up here. You're going to need to first create an advanced Locomotion project in version 4.23 or below. If you put it in 4.24 or above, it will make ALS v4 and will not be what we need. And once you create that project, you want to create a blank survival game kit project, and you want to migrate survival game kit project over to the location, the content folder for your advanced Locomotion v3. And once you have that done, you're going to want to go into edit, plugins. You can probably pause the video here if you're not caught up to me. Just get caught up to this point. Then you want to go to built-in and Apex. And Apex destruction should show up. I already have mine enabled, but yours probably won't be. If it's not, just click enable and then click restart down here. And everything should be good once you restart. And then you should be basically right here where I am. From there, you want to go to project settings. Your input should be this is the ALS's input because I migrated my SGK over. But you want to go into your collision and you notice there are none, but SGK needs some. So I'm just opening up my blank here, going to collision. Okay, there's one for here. We're going to one for the new object channel, projectile, be the name, and it'll be block. For the trace channel, there's going to be two. One grid, and that'll also be block, and weapon. Click weapon, that'll be block. And open up your presets after that. And there's two presets we're going to need. Projectile, and that's query only. Projectile. You can set a description, but you don't need to. And for this, you're going to ignore visibility and camera, and the rest are going to be set to block. May change that later. Probably not. Dead player. It's going to be the next one. And it's going to be the same thing, I think. Yep. On instead of description, it's not really steal. I'm going to block all these, or ignore all these, sorry. And you're going to ignore pawn, physics body, vehicle, destructible, and projectile. Accept that. And once you have that finished, that's all for in here for now. Once we have all that done, we're going to want to start working on moving stuff from the skeleton from Survival Game Kit to ALS, like the animations, well, everything really. But first, we're going to open up this. First, you want to go to Survival Game Kit. I'll show you how to get there first. Character, mesh, 3-4 skeleton. Once you have this open, you want to go to Retarget Manager right here. Then drop down, select Rig and select Humanoid. We're ready to move these slots over and all the animations. So first we're going to want to go just double check this one to make sure everything's set up as well. Pretty sure it is, yep, Humanoid. You want to make sure this is always selected, because if it's not, there's sometimes a little pop-up that'll appear that you need to check from the mesh. What was I doing? Okay, go to Survival Game Kit, Character, Mesh. Right click on this and UV4 mannequin skeleton and retarget to another. I'm going to retarget to the ALS mannequin. And we click retarget, might take a minute. And once this all finishes, we can continue. Now that that's retargeted, we're going to want to make sure we save everything. I already clicked mine and don't need to do that yet. Okay. We want to go to the Survival Game Kit Character Mesh. Make sure it's the UV4 mannequin skeleton. Click delete and select the LS mannequin. And replace references. Click OK. That might take a minute. And then click save. And save everything. And fix up redirectors. Save all. Just gonna double check to make sure. Find skeleton, okay. Okay, now that that's done, we're gonna wanna go to Survival Game Kit, Character Mesh again. Select the mannequin. Right click it, delete. And we're gonna wanna change everything else to the mannequin. And or actually first, before we do that, delete this. Or no, let's delete this. Replace some references to the mannequin. Yes. Save selected. Then we're going to delete this. And once that's done, we're going to move these two to Advanced Locomotion Character Mannequin folder. Yeah, in the mannequin folder, so head back to drag these into the mannequin folder. Move here. Right click, fix up redirectors, save all, and everything should be here. Character, mesh is gone, now we can get rid of the materials. Delete this, shouldn't have anything, this should have one. Yeah, so you want to search man, only one should display. This one right here, by the way, if you have other things in your project, it's in the Advanced Locomotion Characters folder. Replace references, okay. Save selected. Just fix up redirectors. And when I go to the character folder, and I'm pretty sure we can just, now that all the materials, yep, just delete the whole character folder out of Survival Game Kit. And we'll delete the rest of the textures and the material functions. Delete that. One more time, fix up redirectors just in case. Save all. And that's the skeleton done, all the animations set to this. It's not the animation blueprint yet. We'll get to that in a few moments. First, we'll focus on the blueprint. So first you want to go into Advanced Locomotion, Blueprints, and Open up the ALS base character. And once you do that, you'll want to go to Survival Game Kit, Blueprints, and Characters, and open up the Survival character. And you click on the class settings in here, and the class settings in here. Okay, first off, we're going to want to get rid of the survival character and parent the master character to the ALS space character. So once we do that, it'll give us the player inventory component and the player build component inherited through that and all this other nice stuff, including some multiple cameras that we'll deal with. Okay, once we do that, everything is the same. It's an inherited interface. I'm pretty sure once I refresh, reload that. Yeah, there it is there. So now the ALS base character has everything the same. Now we want to go to the BP survival character, zoom out, select everything here, just hit copy, Control C, or right click and copy, then zoom out in the ALS base character and Control V, paste it all there. And I'm going to quickly organize things into the input so it'll be a little easier to deal with. There's a couple things here that aren't inputs, like this right here, keep out, and where is it? There's another one, I know it. It's hiding. Okay, well, I guess I'll just find it. I'm probably just missing it right now, but I'll find it after. It's not left in here, no. Anyway, once we have all that out, we're going to compile and get a bunch of errors that we have to work through. First things first, we'll come down to the compiler results here and click Get Move Forward. Now in our inputs, we're using the ALS. This is the Survival Game Kit's inputs, so we're going to want to use the ones from our project settings, which is move forward / backwards. Oops, not that one. Move forward / backwards function, and I'm going to want to move that, and move right / left. And we're going to want to put these here like this, because we're going to want to actually select both of these, Control C or right click and copy, Control V, paste those in here. So move forward is also right here, move right is also right here. Get rid of those and clean them up a little bit. And I think there's another one, yep, right here. Move forward up here. And scale value. And down here into the scale value. Let's see what we got now. Okay, it's scroll index. We actually are missing a few variables, so to quickly get those, we can go into the BP survival character. If you don't have an open survival game kit, blueprints, characters, BP survival character, and drag this out, get in down here on the side and do not edit, and this one get. We're going to select them both in Control C or right click and copy, and we're just going to paste them anywhere in here because we're just going to create them. Paste them in, right click, create variable, Okay, we need to compile to see their default values. And in here it's -1. So -1, there's nothing else other than their category, which you can set up if you want to organize them. I'm just going to leave them out. Organize them later, because it takes a little bit of extra time. And then once you do that, you can just compile. Delete. You didn't need to compile the first time, or that time. I just like to compile a lot. And that's that for now. Input axes move right. That's some inputs we're going to be changing later once we get into that. That's all that's left, input axes. And these are, we can just right click and refresh the node. Right click and refresh the node. Compile. And then now it's just input issues that we're going to deal with right now. We're going to, first off, the mouse input here. We don't need this. We can just delete this in the event graph for the ALS base character. Character movement, remove these two things and take this. It doesn't really matter if you remove this, but I like to just to keep it proper. Select it, right click and cut or Control X. And then we're going to head over to the player input graph. You can just delete this player input graph, which is over here if you want to, if you don't have it open already. Click into here, we're going to go to player movement input. Oops. And we're going to drag that out a bit just to get some room and paste this back here, and looks like we got to delete that again. And once we do this, actually for now we'll just move these up out of the way. Don't delete these, we're going to need them. And this into the move forward, and this into there. Okay, now select these, Control X, or cut them, and then open up the character movement here. Okay, we're going to need to remove this stuff here, and this add input, and we're going to put our inputs right here for ALS. Oops. So in the character movement, it should look something like that. I think that's it for character movement. This slide. Okay, for debug here, there's a few things we don't really need. We're just gonna disable a bunch of it, move it up out of the way. You can hold Alt and click to quickly break links between the things like this, because we're not gonna be needing these, and there could be some things interfering with survival game kit. There actually is, like tab here and V, and you can come down here to these. These are just for setting movement speeds for ALS, running speed, sets running speed. You can hold Alt and click to break them. Pretty useful. Crouching speed, jump height, see velocity, I'm pretty sure that's what jump height is. Air control, how long you hold the button down, and it's all those disabled. Just moved up out of the way. For some reason these aren't all in the box, I'm just gonna come on in. And that's that gun. It's the character movement there, that's the first one. Setup, we're gonna do some more stuff to this later. Fix up the speeds. And now we're going to work on the jump. So we head down in the event graph with the ALS base character, head down to jump, select it, Control C, or cut, and we're going to bring it over to the player input graph. And there's the jump for ALS, so paste this here, Control V, and just pull this out so we can get a better look at it. Okay, so we're going to pull this out here. There's already a stop jumping connected down there. We're going to use this one. Get rid of this. Bring this down before the switch ALS stance and plug that in there. We already have a jump. And after the jump, just plug the survival game kit stuff in here. And we'll fix this up and make it fit the box. And just move that up to make it. You can organize it however you want. Compile and save. Should also make sure to save all out here in case the project crashes. You don't want to lose stuff. I don't think we need to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Next thing is we are going to create a few inputs in the project settings. So edit, project settings, and go to input. First off, I noticed a few little things like right here. There's the stance action. Make it a little easier to understand. That's actually what the crouch is. And so I'm just going to change it to C. I like C better. And you don't really need the select rotation mode, so we'll remove all those. Ragdoll action, that's for just press it, it tests the ragdoll. You can leave it, or I'm just going to leave it for now. Camera actions for changing the first person. ALS uses V, I think. So switch that. And the inputs we're going to add is inventory. Or we'll name that toggle inventory. And fire. So that's what this one's going to be for the trigger. And we'll set this to the tab. Whatever you want, how you like tab. And fire is going to be the left mouse. Whatever. And now that that's done, we're going to go to the event graph. Toggle inventory in the event graph for the ALS base character. Delete tab and toggle inventory right here. Now when you press it, it'll open the inventory. When you press it again, it'll close it exactly the way it was. And debug keys. You can just move this up here. And then just to organize it a bit more, I'm going to select all this, right click, and cut. These are all inputs. Once that's done, the player input, scroll out a bit, go over, make some room, and Control V. There. Now I have all the stuff all in one folder. Put this here and just rename it so I know where it came from. And right compile and save that. And that's just some input errors. We deleted these. If you want, you can just test those two inputs out before you delete them. Not really find it interferes with the game, with the type of game it is. And stance action was changed to crouch action. So the player input graph, crouch action, remove stance, and added crouch. And that's all the mirrors fixed. But there's still plenty more to do. We can go, we also created a fire action input. So we can go down here in the player input graph now, delete the left mouse, and put in fire. Pressed into the top, released into the bottom, and there we go. And just to set this up now while I'm thinking about it. First you want to go to your project settings. Go to, this just makes it so every time you load a project up, it'll load up to the showcase map. So load up the showcase, project settings there, that's game mode. We can also set to PP survival game mode. Click this drop down, change it to, we're going to be using the mannequin character, well I will be. Switch so it looks like this, everything else there looks fine. Yep, and then we can go over here and everything, and we should just, first we'll switch the map. Survival game mode, map, showcase. Save everything if there's anything to save. Load into the map, version 1.9.6. And we can load up BP survival game mode. Mannequin character is already set because we set it in the settings. And we shouldn't really have anything. Actually, I'm pretty sure I might be able to, we'll test it out and see what we have, just so you can compare it. Right now, we'll fix that camera. We can pick things up. Should be, I'm pretty sure actually, that's because of the construct, so I have to fix that next here. Shouldn't be able to equip anything because we never did anything in the animations. But animations, I'll show you guys a really easy way to actually do that. Yeah, I don't know why I'm picking up a bunch of stuff. Just trying to, so we can compare it. Crouching works, crouching will work in first person. And I'll fix the armor quickly now. Okay, first you go to ALS base character. Over on this side here, go to construct script. And right here, go to BP survival character. And blueprints, survival game blueprints, character, survival character. You can remove those. It doesn't really matter. Pull out the construct script. Control C this, or right click and copy. And Control V it in here. And just connect that right there. And that should fix armor equipping. It's going to do a really quick test this time. Also, that red orb all fixed. Yeah, senior real armor. Now connected to the player. Red orb, you just need to go in here, and that's the aim down sight socket. You just need to make it hidden in game, and that's fixed. That's the red orb that when you'll see it when you jump. It'll be, if you never disable that, it'll be between your legs there. But I disabled it so you can't see it. So click Save All to be safe. Don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Project settings, I can close out of this. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is deal with the crouch, I think. Yeah. So find the crouch in the player input graph here. Select it and control right click and cut it, or control X. And we're just gonna go over here. And right here, it's the crouch action. We're gonna delete this, and open up this. And once that opens up, it should be in the player inventory component. Click this. Delete these two. Delete this crouch and this uncrouch, because we don't need to crouch twice, but we still want this stuff to play in the survival game kit. So that's that. You can compile and save this one. Took a little longer because my auto saving out of date packages, I guess. And just finish compiling and saving this. I set this up to compile and save at the same time, so I'm going to click them both. Save it. For some reason, everything started going really slow. So we can go up here and click the arrow by compile on success only, so it'll compile and save everything. And close out of this player inventory component, head back over to the ALS base character, which is in Blueprints, ALS base character. Now that we have this fixed up, we can drag this out, plug this in here, and in there. Just delete this box, so it's not, we don't need to. We'll do that. It's good enough for now. And we should have our crouch done. Now we're going to set up the sprinting. So we want to be in the player input graph in the ALS base character. We're going to want to look for shift modifier right here, which would be the sprint for ALS, or the survival game kit. We're going to want to cut this and bring it over here to right here's the sprint action. Paste that in. Okay, first we can get rid of the left shift here. Drag this over here. Pressed in the top, released in the bottom here. Should sprint. And there we have it. This up right here, like if you press, I think it's Control, it'll change you from running to walking stance, which is a little extra feature I guess ALS has. You can remove it or keep it there if you want. It's right here. Next we will do the camera. Actually, first we'll we don't need this. This is interfering with that survival game kit input. Remove this. Just changes from left foot to right foot forward when you're aiming. It's an ALS thing. And we'll do the camera input, which is pretty easy. We don't really need any of ALS's stuff. So the camera input is up right here. Control C or cut, Control X, Control V to paste that in. Get rid of all these 2's. Delete this. And basically all we're going to do here is drag this camera action over. Now if it's pressed, it'll do what survival game kit's supposed to do when you press it. And this right here, you can actually, this is not really, this just switches shoulders. So you can switch from your left to your right shoulder, so you can make another input and plug it in here and it'll switch shoulder. You don't need that, that's just an ALS feature. Compile and save. Now we'll do the aim. I think that's one of the only things that's left now is the aim. For the inputs in here at least. Okay, so you want to go over to, while still in the player input graph, if you moved it over, if not the event graph, if you didn't move it. Right click and cut the left mouse button out of here, and we'll go over to survival game kits, or ALS. And right here, I'm just going to load up my project that I did yesterday to quickly reference a couple things. Okay, I just realized I actually dragged over the left mouse. So I was going to put that right there for now. And go over and grab the right mouse. Just the actual one we do need for here. Okay, so just gonna quickly reference mine, right mouse. Basically all we need to do here is don't need this because we're just gonna use one rotation. Remove this. Pull these over. Plug that into the top, plug release into the bottom. Or I have those backwards. We're gonna drag those out a bit. Put the ALS aiming events in here like this. So that runs through. All of it. And there we go, we have the left and the right mouse. And you can organize it a little better after. Let's compile and save. There's no use to saving it now, but don't need to if you have it on autosave. Now we want to, okay, first I'm going to fix this while I'm thinking of it. Looking direction. Okay, first you want to go to ALS base character up here. And then you over on the side, you scroll down to state values and change it to looking direction. And once we do that, we're going to compile and save. And then we're going to do some testing quickly. Just to make sure you're at the point where I am and everything works. So now we won't run towards the camera. Sprinting needs some adjustments, we'll fix that after. So no worries there, you can still pick up stuff. everything should work mainly, but animations now. Take damage, open up stuff, inventory, you can move things, crouching works. First person cameras I think is really low because when you reparent it, we just quickly fix that, it's no problem. Because ALS doesn't use a second first person camera like Survival Game Kit does. Just uses the single camera for the whole thing. Now we're gonna remove some cameras. This is something you gotta be a little bit careful with because if you actually remove this camera right now, it will break your first person crouching. I haven't found a proper fix for it yet, but leaving this in doesn't seem to break anything that I've noticed at all. But it's been a while since I actually looked into it, so I can probably figure something out for that after in another video. For now, we want to look for the spring arm references in here, in the ALS based character, and there's 2. So scroll up to the inherited camera boom, and just drag it over and drop it on the side here, and it'll replace it. And you go to the second one and do the exact same thing. Then you want to search for find reference for a third person camera, and oops, scroll down to the third person camera here, and then scroll up to third person camera, drag it over like the thing. It won't look like it changed, but it did. If you drag it over onto it, one will have an underscore, one won't. And now for the first person camera, find references. This doesn't actually ever get used. I don't know. You don't really need to mess with in here. And I'll just show you what I mean. If I decided I wanted to swap out the first person camera with the inherited one. And then I go in the first person, pressing crouch, inherit it, but it's not doing anything. I think if I do a movement, and then I do a movement and I enter, and it'll do one single, or not. Not that it did that. Oh, there it did one movement, but now I can't down crouch. It's just weird like that. But if you keep this camera right here, first person, this camera right here, down at the bottom, the one that's not inherited in the construct script of the ALS based character, then it works 100%. But since we replaced the references for this, it doesn't exist anymore, we can delete it. And this third person camera here as well, replaced all the references, we can delete it. Compile and save. One more thing down. We will set the animation blueprints. And the animation class for these, because right now these, if you look right here, there's just none. So for all of these, basically, except for the backpack, you can click the top one, hold shift and click the bottom one, and it can hold control and click the backpack to unselect it. And that didn't work. Shift. Okay, whatever. Well, anyway, we just need. Oh, I know why. Because we're selecting the mesh too. So just do that there. And for all of these, we're going to select mannequin anim PP. And then for the mesh, we're just going to set it to mannequin. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Set to mannequin, and we'll put the mannequin and a BP there. AC is a little off. We can actually just remove him. We don't need to worry about him right now. We'll deal with him later. We want to go to our first person camera inherited and turn off auto activate so it doesn't activate automatically. Compile and save that. And once that, we will, I think we're about ready to start working on the animation blueprints, so we can head back to the showcase map and first we need the anim blueprint from Advanced Locomotion, so we can search that here when you select the folder, anim BP, and open the mannequin anim BP, not the IK. And we'll want the survival game kit one as well, because we're going to be taking content from there, and this one is called third person animations. So we open up this, and first thing we want to do is look at the class settings, because there's a interface here. It's not on the ALS, so BP animation interface. I'm going to go into the mannequin anim BP and go to class settings, click add BP animation interface, just pop up here. Click that. Pile. If we take a look here, there's in the newer versions of ALS or Survival Game Kit, there are no functions. There's usually a can jump, so that's one thing we don't need to worry about. To move over, eventually we just gotta move over all this. But first thing we can do is go to the mannequin anim BP and in variables. I think it's in references, ALS base character. We're going to copy this name, so Control C or right click and copy. Just make it a little bit easier. Go to non-edit, go to character, Control V that name there, click enter. And now we're going to, in the third person anim blueprint, we're going to select everything. And we're going to Control C, or right click something and copy. Go to the mannequin anim blueprint, make sure you're in the event graph, scroll all the way out, Control V it over here. We should have a duplicate custom event somewhere, right here. So we'll go up here, and what it is update animation. So update animation. So we'll grab this and bring it down here. Delete this and this. Just make some room here because we're gonna put a sequence here in a second. Make some room here. I'm just gonna reference my copy from yesterday quickly here. And okay, so in my copy, we don't need to get the spawn the pawn speed twice because ALS is already doing that, and the direction ALS is doing that for us too. It does it better than Survival Game Kit, so we can We can just drop these down here for now. Hold Alt and click, break, or just hold Alt and click. You can also right click and break the link. I'll show you right here. Break link to there. You don't need to break that one, but okay, right here we're going to set is owner valid. So before that we set up a sequence. After this sequence right here, that runs into there, and then this runs and checks right here. And if that's valid, we're actually going to remove a few things right here too. Like we don't need any of this, right? These three nodes, delete these three. And we don't need this one. We do want this ALS base character because we want to target here. And just drag this into, oops, I'll just make it a little easier. Like bring it all the way over. Okay, from is valid, you want to drag it into execute, and everything right there should be the way it goes. Respawn speed and direction are down out of the way where we don't need them. And that runs out of the sequence there like that. We're going to compile and get a lot of errors, but we'll fix those. No worries. Now we're going to start creating some variables and comparing them. So create variable holding item is the first one that I have here in the compiler results. You click it, takes you here. And just to compare it, nothing is special about it. I'm going to quickly do this. Held actor. It's replicated, so you want to make sure that you set this one to replicated. And without even going anywhere, this one's right here. I don't think there's anything special about the use left hand socket. Nope. You can put, they do have their categories that you can just set up so this just organizes them, but I'm not going to do that for now. Compile, so I can get some, see what that here, set crouching. And here it is. Nothing special. Hit pitch. I think this one has something. This pitch. Pitch has a 70. A value range of 70. So once you create the variable pitch, go up to the value range and type in 70. And that's all. And if you go over a little bit from pitch, there's also a base pitch. You can create that, and there's nothing special about that one. Or base yaw, or yaw. So we can compile and click at yaw. Create this variable. Set range weapon. Create this variable. Notice how it's not spelled wrong anymore. Just gonna make sure this range weapon animations is the same. Compile. Set aimed. Double check the aimed. And we're gonna go over a little bit. There's reloading right there. And reloading, there's nothing special. Left hand transform. Something we're going to make use of in this tutorial, which is nice. Okay, I'm just going to click that, everything. And I'm just going to set the base here. Nothing different about that one. Set master weapon. Nothing. Foldable animations. I think we might have to copy this, so you can just like, if you come over to third person, I'm just gonna make sure first. Actually, no, this is not one you need to do. Scratch that. Set loop montage. Loop playing. Compile, see what's next. Set as an air. Something's up right here. Nothing. Scripting. And there's nothing there. Jump on land and create all three of these. Start, enable jump. Enable jump. This one, and oh, there it is. Yeah, that's nothing different about it. I just wanted to make sure. And there we go. I see a 2 there in the melee swing. It's probably people that want to just get rid of that. All those 2s from the copies. Another one down here in the set character variables. And that should be it. Compile and save. If you have it set up, it should just automatically save. Remember, you just do this, save, and on success only. You like to do that. One more thing actually. There's direction. It's in here. That's minus 180, plus 180, and right here you want to, in third person, copy this right here. Go to the mannequin animation blueprint and just search for direction. It'll pop up right here. And it doesn't have these, so you want to paste this. And for the value range, I think it was, nope, the slider range. Minus 180 plus 180. And actually, I think that's these that are instant settable. Yeah, these are the ones you need to really need to swap out after. Don't do those yet. Don't do those soon. Compile and save. Now we will. Actually, yeah, I will deal with these animations right now because I'm pretty sure that's all that's left to move over. So, wanna just in the third person animation blueprint, drag them all out here. On the side, you want on the variables settings, you just drag them all out anywhere as long as they're able to see them and grab them. So we're gonna bring them over to the mannequin. I think I just messed up. Actually. Yeah, I just messed up. Oh, I know why. My aisle's up there. Wow. I'm getting tired, sorry. Jump start, jump loop, jump land. And empty hands. So that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Control C or right click. Right click. Make sure you right click on the little bit on the side. Copy them. And go to the mannequin animation blueprint and Control V. Doesn't matter where they are because we're just gonna, for now, we're gonna create. 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 And that's all those created. We can close out of this and they should show up here on the variables on the side here now. I'm gonna remove these out of here. And now we have the set, we'll do it bit by bit. We'll set them all instance editable first. And then work our way back up over them and set every animation after we compile. You can see the animations. Okay, compile, and now we'll notice there's no animation set in them. So we need to do that. We're going to delete these out of here. And then go to idle. In the third person anim, right click and copy on idle hands once you select it. And then we'll paste this into the idle hands in the mannequin anim, and then we'll do this for all of them. Jog, copy. Jog, paste. Crouch idle. Copy. And once we get these all over, I'm pretty sure that's it. And we'll be heading into the animation blueprint once I take one final look. Jump land and all that's left, just making sure I have all these empty hands. Compile. And I already saved. And everything got lost for a second there on me. And that looks to be it for these. Next we'll head into the animation blueprint, I think. So we have to go to the third person animation blueprint and open up the anim graph. Scroll out. Select everything here and Control C or right click and copy. And then go to the mannequin animation blueprint. Anim graph. Scroll out. And we'll paste this down below a little bit. Now, just gotta think here for a second. I'm gonna make this a little bit easier so we don't have to go through everything. You wanna just drag this down here, because that's just gonna return it down there. Plug it in there, so it gets all that. So now it's going through all the Survival Game Kit stuff. We're gonna want to use the ALS's aim offsets here. So there's 3 places to put them in. So X, Y, delete, X, Y, delete. Did I just do that right, or am I just yeah, don't put one there, right? I was just putting one, put it down here. I don't know why I even did that. It's 4:30 in the morning, I'm pretty tired, I guess. It's 3 of those put in. Compile. Looks a little messy. Just gonna reference mine. Actually, no, I'll do this. Set this up first quickly, and then I'll reference mine for the actual estimates. So this we're gonna want this. So in the atom graph, we have the main state machine and locomotion. This one's for ALS. We'll just click C when you have it selected, just so we can. And this one's survival game kit. And we're gonna blend these together. Do that. Blend per bone. You need a layered blend per bone. Okay, I'm gonna quickly reference mine for this one. Yeah, that's how it's set up. Locomotion, you want to plug into the bottom here. Main state machine, you want to plug into the top. Have this like this. I'll just comment this whole thing. Set locomotion. And we'll click that and turn off these two bubbles because that's annoying. Then we can actually see it. We don't need to see everything in here. Okay. There's locomotion. Then you want to open up this. And if it's closed, you want to open up all the drop downs so you see a plus. And select this top box for the mesh space rotation. And you want to type in spine 01. Just like that. I think it's 3, yeah, 3. And I'm pretty sure that's about it for the animation blueprint. There's not much else we need to do to get this. There's a little, I'll look into, actually, if you want to fix this arm right now, you want to go into locomotion, idle, and right here, blend by bool. So if you're holding an item, it'll go into your holding animations, but if you're not holding them, which is this stance right here, it goes down here. You just want to change click on this and we can idle character animation. We're not going to want the idle hands really. So we'll just select ALS underscore neutral N. ALS uses N for neutral, so N idle. And we'll just do the pose, I think will work. And the additives are already added elsewhere, which gives you the breathing, so it's not just because the pose is a frozen animation. The additives give it the breathing. I'm pretty sure that's actually it. Just gonna test some things out. Once this decides to save. Oops. Sorry if I just bumped the mic there. And of course, last minute, everything decides to go a little extra slow. Okay, I'm just gonna close out some stuff that I have loaded in the background too. Okay, so clearly got something messed up here. I'm gonna close out of this and fix this. 1 second. I'll pause the video for a moment. Okay, so it turns out that I actually, when I set the mesh for the ALS based character and removed it, I forgot that it removes the children meshes as well. So you want to go to Advanced Locomotion, Blueprints, Mannequin Character, click Mesh. All the animations should be set from the ALS based character. Click Mesh and go Mannequin, Pile, Save. And there we go, we have the mannequin again. Now, the way it works is the legs are using the ALS animations because of the blend, and it's kind of using the arms like for the run. We can, but the idle is ALS is neutral idle. We can, in later videos, I'll look into fixing up the arm animations if you want them so they're like more down, like ALSs are supposed to be, but like equipping stuff, it works fine. The left hand socket's attached to the weapons. You can see that. It's not like popping off. You don't have to deal with blowing up characters, which I noticed. Something I didn't have to redo is the animations for all the... I don't know if that's because it's a new kit or because I didn't have to redo the whole it's probably because of the way the kit was set up now. Everything should work fine though. Should be able to build and everything. Flashlight functions, 5. Yep, 6 we can build. Make sure you have your grid set up in the project settings if it's not snapping properly. And that's about it. Pretty sure the shooting should be fine too. I'm just going to quickly test that. And I'll look into some other things too, like some of the animations moving between them are a little odd. Running speed. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, it was just putting it into the aiming seems to put it into the sprinting animation. Well, I'll fix that though after. It'll be another video. The second video I'll fix the movement and stuff like that. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. So there's a couple things I forgot to do in the master character. So if you want to go to blueprints in the survival game kit, blueprints, characters, master character. First you want to create a new custom event. So right click in custom event. And we'll call it, it'll be called falling detection. And then we'll delete this and set this to run on owning client and reliable. Once we do that, we're going to want to click into here. Just referencing my copy now. Drag out of this and make a new sequence. Break this, hold Alt and click. And we're going to take the falling and date screen center. Because we're on the ALS handle everything else. Alt click to just get rid of those. And now these won't play anymore. We can just leave these there. If you want to use them for after or something, I don't know. Reference them. Oh, got it here. Okay. This error we're going to change to falling detection. There it is. And then compile. Save that. Now we want to put it into the event graph for in the ALS base character, advanced locomotion, blueprints, ALS base character. In the event graph, we want to add a new tick event. So we click add pin, drag off of it, and then type in falling detection. And I'm just going to look at my copy quickly. Make sure that's everything. And okay, I found one more thing we need to do. First, we need to go back to the BP master character. If you don't have it open, you can just go to Sprout Game Kit, Blueprints, Characters, BP master character, and we want to look for onlanded. We want to create a custom event. And name that player landed. Lagging a little bit because I have my other project open. It's a little bigger, I guess. Player landed. I want to set this to running on owning client. Enter reliable. We can remove this. And we want to head into onlanded. No, we won't. We want to search onlanded. Yes, we do want to head into onlanded. And in here, oh, it's because we're not in the ALS base character, so we want to head back to the ALS base character and then search for onlanded. There we go. And now when I compare this one with mine, And now, oops. Drag down here, player landed. And now players will take falling damage. Pretty sure that's it. Shouldn't have any problems with the newest copy of Survival Game Kit now. That's because yeah. Just to show you that it's working. That's everything you should have up to now. If you have any problems, make sure to let me know. I'll also leave a link to my Discord so you can join and ask me questions there. And thanks to Brian Aldridge for basically starting me off with ALS and teaching me all the basics I needed to know. Learned some other things from some people like Imagine Dreams. His videos are really good. That's just if you want to learn some more about ALS. And that should be everything. Have a good one.